I'm Teresa Matic with the Investing News Network. Here with me today is Glen Parsons, CEO of Mariana Resources. Glen, thank you for joining me.
Hi, Teresa. Thanks for having me.
Great. So gold prices have not been performing the best lately. How is that affecting Mariana?
Obviously there's negative sentiment in the market. I think, if one tries to put a positive spin on that for Mariana's perspective is we're not, obviously we are looking for gold. We're, gold, silver, we are a precious metals company. But what we are really trying to do is we're trying to lift the value of the project by effectively doing work on a project. And the good thing is that we do have a project that's delivering really significant, really stunning results at the moment. And so obviously the upliftment, and as we're drilling, the upliftment in the project is actually happening. It's getting de-risked. So in a way, it's not as attuned to the gold price. It's really sort of a project value creation, and then the commodity price will give it obviously the real value that it deserves when it comes back, hopefully.
Yeah, and speaking of those good results, you put out some really strong results from your Hot Maden project just this week. Could you give some highlights?
Yeah, sure. We had 3 really good holes, and they've really been step-out holes. So we put out 15, 16, and 17. And those are, when you say step-out, what they've done is they've actually increased the resource potential in that. It's not infill drilling, it's actually gone a bit deeper. So we've gone below some of our other significant results. And probably the real one to probably highlight was hole 15, which was 117 meters, effectively at 13.9 grams gold with significant copper, still around 3% copper. So really, around 2% copper, which is really, significant in the grand scheme. But I think the key thing here is with these results, every result we're putting out in this focus zone is really delivering consistent grade in the copper gold zone, as well as there's a high grade core there that's actually that's really holding together nicely. So it really is building a resource based potential. So, and that's one of the reasons why we actually made the decision that we did in the news release on Monday, where we've actually announced we're going for an independent resource.
Yeah. Okay, I'm glad you mentioned that. That was my next question,
okay.
But that's all right. Any other kind of thinking that went into that, or just the consistency of the results?
Well, when you look at, if you go to our website, we do have a 3D model that's actually playing there. And what you are seeing is that this, if you go from the early results to now, the body has just grown and grown and consistently grown. And then that's when we say consistent, the confidence when we thinking about putting a drill hole down into the zone, and we expect to hit it at a certain area, we're hitting in the zone. So that's obviously gives you great confidence that it's there. And then the high grade portion. So with all that confidence that you're getting, you're sort of saying, okay, well, you can probably pull that together and get some form of resource. And we felt was it appropriate, and we think it is. We've obviously spoken to Rangi, Pinpock, and Monaco, and they feel that there is potential to pull a resource together. So they're busy with their assessment, going through their quality control in terms of all the data, and we're hoping that this will be a significant resource in the near term.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's great news for the resource, but I'm also wondering what makes you think that Hot Maden is going to become a mine, is going to be economic overall?
Okay, firstly, the grade has been so fantastic in Hot Maden and consistently through the body, and now really from surface, we're looking at 25 meters from surface on the one side. So in terms of a mine, the starting up cost of a mine is actually going to be relatively low in terms of that. We see the footprint being relatively low. We don't see a large open pit down the line. It will probably end up going underground. We see that. In terms of the potential of the mine, our partner, Lydia, who's a private Turkish group, they really are, have fast-tracked. From discovery to the next stage, they went discovery holes. Basically, a month later, they said we're doing 10,000 meters. So that's really good for us as because we've got a carried interest up to the 10,000 meters. After that, we're contributing our 30%. So I'm saying they focused on really becoming a miner, a producer. So first of all, the ore's great. Really high grade from surface, and low tonnage in terms of being able to extract. So the payback is so much quicker because of that high grade. So it's mineable ore really.
Okay, and you've got quite a few other projects on the go as well. Specifically in Chile, I know you're planning on completing some drilling and ground geophysics later this year. So how is work progressing at all those other
Okay, well, I
projects?
mean, with our portfolio, and we do have we are an exploration company, obviously with the developing asset being Hot Maden, but with those projects, they're all sort of along our development curve. So we try and manage our development curve, and the assets are at various stages of work. We can accelerate and we can slow down a little bit. At the moment, we are sort of more on a slowdown, allowing Turkey to really just show itself, and is obviously showing itself quite nicely. But your point on Chile, the good thing about Chile is we've actually attracted financing for our Chile exploration. So it's Asset Chile, which is part of the Corfu Fund program, which is a government-backed fund program for exploration, a really, really good program. Essentially, they're putting in 1.65 million to earn a 50% stake, and we are the operator. So the plan is, as you said, geophysics. So first geophysics, we'll probably wait till the winter's probably the end of winter. It is relatively high up, around 4,000 meters. So we will wait for that, then do the geophysics, and following that, there's anomalies. We think there are anomalies there. We're sure there will be anomalies. We'll be drilling by the end of the year, and that'll be probably RC drilling. So relatively low cost to actually sort of test those anomalies. And so that will happen over the next 6 months, I think.
Okay. And also, you're a London-listed company. How can North American investors invest in Mariana?
Okay, now, I mean, London is not part of the LSE. I mean, in theory, it is actually quite easy to trade, but we do know there has been some difficulty, and North American market, the investors do have some difficulty in accessing, the ability to trade that stock. What we would say to them is really dealing through registered brokers that actually work on both exchanges is actually an easy way to actually get into the stock. We do know it also trades on the OTC market in New York, on the pink sheets. That's a little bit more difficult and more complex. It does take time. Although it should be seamless, it does take time, and there are frustrations. So I would urge rather to go for the moment is go through the registered large brokers, your Haywoods and your guys here, Fidelity. But otherwise, we are looking at ways of trying to enhance the tradability of the stock, specifically the North American market, as we are known to the North American market, both from our previous, we were dual listed at one stage on the TSX, as well as the Aegean, who we acquired. Eric is very well known to the North American market as well. So we've got a marketing presence, so now we actually need to use that presence and actually try and open it up. So that's the intention.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, and finally, you've mentioned quite a lot on the docket for Mariana for the rest of the year, but what else can investors look forward to in 2015?
So the key thing in 2015 is obviously going to be the resource statement. I mean, and we've indicated early Q4. It might be sort of end of Q3, Q4. So that's obviously hoping. And really, the key would be hoping it's big enough. That's you'd like to make a real impact. We think there's something really special here. I mean, those grades are fantastic. As I said, mineable ore from surface, you can fast track this thing pretty quickly, and actually on a metallurgical scale, in terms of there are no real nasties in the ore at the moment that we can see. So that's really good for processing. So everything's looking good. So the idea of a resource and hopefully a largish resource will really, I suppose, cement or quantify the value in Mariana. At the moment, we feel that we haven't been given the development story value for Hot Maden to date, because we have de-risked this thing away from exploration. So we really needed to try and get that value out of Hot Maden into the stock price, and that's really my goal. So the resource will play a key factor in that, because it's going to quantify a number, and that number then you're going to say, okay, well, it should be worth X. Whereas now they're still a little bit up in the air.
Okay, that sounds exciting.
That is very exciting. Thanks, Teresa.
Thank you for joining me, Glenn.
Thank you.
I'm Teresa Matic with the Investing News Network.